Srimate Nigamanta Mahadeshikaya Namaha. One day, Yashoda was feeding Krishna. Suddenly, she had to attend to the boiling milk and left him abruptly. Krishna did not like the fact that he was not given full attention by Yashoda. In anger, he proceeded to break the pot of butter hanging on the wall. Hartum kumbhe vinihita karaha swadu hayyangavinam drishtva dama grahana chatula mataram jatarosham. We know that in Sanskritam the word for butter is navanitam, but the word for freshly churned butter is hayyangavinam. Narayana Bhattathiri writes, Krishna stood on the mortar and proceeded to hit the pot with a stick in one hand and a stone in the other. Samipita rasabhanga sangata krodha bhara paribhuta chetasa manthadandam upagrihya patitam hantadeva dadhibhajanam tvaya. He then went back to his primary source, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, and saw that Shuka Muni wrote that Krishna took a stone in his hand. Bhattathiri was very sad that he deviated by adding some extra content to what was already there in Bhagavatam and started shedding tears. He could not even erase or do something like Control X, because in those days they used to write on palm leaves by pressing on the palm leaf with a stick. As he was disappointed, he then noticed the Garbhagraham of the Guruvayur temple transformed, and he could see a small boy on a mortar stone with a stick in one hand and a stone in another. This little boy said, "O Bhattathiri, do not cry. When Shuka Muni wrote, he saw me from the side, and so he mentioned about just the stone. But you saw me from the top or the front view, and hence you mentioned both the stone and the stick. What you have written is not wrong." This is one of the incidences in Sriman Narayaneeyam where the Lord himself ratifies or validates whatever was written by Bhattathiri. So Krishna broke the pot, and all the curd, butter and buttermilk in the pot fell on him. The commentator remarks, the boy who reclines in Ksheerarnavam or the ocean of milk is now reclining in Morarnavam or the ocean of buttermilk. More is the Tamil word for buttermilk. Yashoda comes back and sees all the curd and butter on the floor. She took so many days of effort to prepare and keep all this curd and butter. She was furious with Krishna. She said, "Oh rascal, come here, Baddava." And she started chasing Krishna. Krishna ran, Yashoda ran behind him. Krishna saw his mother panting for breath, and he did not want her to strain herself. So he stopped. Yashoda dragged Krishna to the mortar stone, which is shaped like an hourglass. If we have to think about it in today's parlance, it would be the ultra grinder. Yashoda was searching for a rope to tie Krishna with. What kind of rope was it? It was a rope made by tying together smaller threads, like the ones you get in courier parcels. This kind of thread that is made by tying together smaller threads is called Kanninun Siruttambu in Tamil. So, Madhura Kavi Alvar says, Kanninun Siruttambinal Kattunna Panniya Perumayan. But no matter how much Yashoda tried, she was not able to tie her son to the mortar stone. Krishna said, "I'll tie it by myself." That is why Alvar says, Kattunna Panniya Perumayan. It was not Yashoda that tied Krishna. It was Krishna himself who made himself to be tied by Yashoda. This speaks volumes of the saulabhyam of Krishna. of the Lord. Thinking about how the Supreme Lord made himself so easily accessible to a cowherd woman, Yashoda, Swami Nammalvar, the great saint, became unconscious for 6 months. பிரமனும் இந்திரனும் மனதில் பொறாமை கொள்ள உரலில் கட்டி வாய்ப்புத்தி கெஞ்ச வைத்தாள் தாயே என்ன தவம் செய்தனே. Yadi shaknoshi gachatvam atichanchala cheshtitam, said Yashoda. This is a statement from Sri Vishnu Puranam. If you move even a little bit, see what I do to you. After some time, the thread that Yashoda tied to Krishna's belly slowly started coming up towards the chest, because Krishna has a huge belly. The thread started coming up towards the chest. The commentator says, it seems Yashoda tied her son and daughter-in-law to the mortar stone, because Mahalakshmi resides on the chest of the Lord. Amidst all of this, Krishna had a little bit of butter and he was consuming that while being tied to the mortar stone. Later, Krishna dragged the heavy mortar while trying to walk, and it started moving. At one point of time, it got stuck between two trees, and as Krishna pulled, he uprooted these two trees. These were the Yamalarjuna trees, who were actually Nalakubera and Manigriva, who were cursed by Narada to become twin trees, and that Krishna would give them emancipation. This Ulukhalabandhanam is an episode that has been cited time and again by our acharyas and the bhaktas of Bharatam. This brings us to the end of one phase of Krishna's life, that was the time he spent in Gokula. The residents of Gokula felt that there were a lot of threats to little Krishna, and felt it would be better if they all moved to a different place in the best interest of this little child. Where did they all move to? What happened in the new place that they all went to? We will see in the next season of Krishnanubhavam. We will end this season of Krishnanubhavam by singing the glory of Lord Krishna himself, the parents of Lord Krishna, Devaki Vasudeva, Yashoda and Nanda Gopala, his brother Balarama, all the residents of Gokula who were blessed to live and be with Krishna. And of course, the Arvas, Acharyas, Vagyakaras, who have experienced Krishna and given us such beautiful compositions with which we ourselves can imagine what it was like to grow and be in the same time and place as that of Lord Krishna. Namaskaram, Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.